welcome in to Texans Today, everybody. I'm your host, Jeremy Chuggs, and coming up on the program today, what did Emeka Egbuka say at the NFL Combine that has Texans fans perking their ears up just a little bit? Yes, he mentioned C.J. Stroud. He was asked about the Texans, and I have those clips for you from our guys down at the NFL Combine. Shout out to the Chat Sports crew. We got about 10 guys up there in Indy, and they are absolutely putting in work right now, getting us a ton of clips, getting us a ton of content up there at the NFL Combine, and something that Emeka Egbuka said today on this video. But before we get into that, he talks about C.J. Stroud and them being boys, one of his best friends. Shout out your best friends in the comments section. Send this to the group chat. Just know, if your friend didn't send you this video, they don't really see you as a friend. I'm just saying. I'm telling you right now, your best friend's going to send you this video because we're going to be breaking down some best friends on today's video. So if he's not shouting you out in the comment section, if he's not sending this in the group chat that you're in, you're not in the cool group chat. You're in the lame group chat. You're in the extra group chat that he does whenever his homeboys really aren't, nobody's able to go out and hang out. If you're not being sent this by your friend, they're not really your friend. And as I said, we're going to be breaking down some best friends in today's program. Coming up right now, Emeka Egbuka at the NFL Combine, everything that he had to say. I went ahead and cut up some clips. I cut out all the stuff of, people were asking him, did you meet with the Cowboys? Did you meet with the Seahawks? I made sure to only put in the parts that I think Texans fans really want to hear.
He's playing with a lot of great receivers in Ohio State. Marvin Harrison Jr., Garrett Wilson, JSN, Chris Olave, and Jeremiah Smith is still there. What do you take from each of those guys to help improve your game going into the NFL?
Yeah, honestly, it's hard not to learn from those guys. Just being in the room all the time with them. I think, I was roommates with Marvin for over a year. We did absolutely everything together. So he's one of my closest friends. But I can't remember a single day that we weren't at the facility getting in extra work, whether it was film study or catching on the jugs machine or running extra routes. So we spent a lot of time together, and we always challenge each other. We have a very competitive dynamic, so we're always pushing each other and competing in everything we do, whether it's football, video games, bowling, whatever the case may be. So the whole room was kind of like that, with just that competitive nature. So we were always pushing each other. There was really not areas in my game where I didn't learn from them.
What's an example of a time that you film study yourself and found something that you were able to fix on the field?
Film study of myself?
Yeah, like just filters out yourself and working on it.
Yeah, I think, whenever I do watch myself, I'm my own hardest critic. I think part of the reason that I've excelled at Ohio State is because Coach Hartline and I share a very similar mindset. We're perfectionists to the nth degree, so I think that every time we watch film, I never tell myself, good job in my head. So I'm always critiquing myself, whether it's run blocking, route running, my splits before the play, just making sure I'm playing with the DB mentally. So it's all a game for me. It's all an art, and I love learning the art of receiver. I have met with the Texans. We had a great meeting. That was formally, and CJ and I, obviously I have a lot of love for the guy. Just to see what he's doing with his faith too at the next level, that's something that I'm just so proud to be able to see as a friend of his, and our relationship definitely runs deep. I think that you have a special connection when you're catching passes from him and going for 1,000 yards for a super memorable season. So playing with him was amazing times for me. I don't specifically model my game after any one player. I love studying the art of receiver, the art of route running. The cerebral part of it for me is very fun. So I think ever since a young age, when I first started playing receiver, I was watching wide receiver DB run one-on-ones and just route running, everything like that. So I think my game is comprised of all the people who I've watched in over my entire lifetime. I think honestly the biggest attribute I was looking to refine in my senior season was just my faith in God. That comes first and foremost before anything on the field. That was the leading factor in me deciding to return for my senior year at Ohio State. So I just spent a lot of time in prayer, and I felt like he was leading me back to Ohio State to do something bigger than football. Obviously, we were able to win the national championship, which is amazing and a dream come true for me and something I'll never forget. But Other than that, like, we had some amazing moments where us players were able to share the gospel of Jesus Christ and just share our faith in Him. And we were actually, experienced a bit of a revival on campus in Columbus. There was people getting baptized left and right. We were able to share our testimonies, and it was just a beautiful thing to be a part of. I think probably just my football IQ. You look at some of the best players in the entire league. Everybody gets older. No one's immune from aging. So the thing that really keeps you in the game is knowing how to take care of your body and knowing how and when to be open in the NFL. So I think that's some part of my game that's going to translate really well.
Welcome back. That was our interview with Emeka Egbuka at the NFL Combine. I'll break down everything that he had to say, some interesting notes and some tidbits that I really picked up on that he had to say at the Combine. But first, a word from our sponsor over at PrizePicks. Daily fantasy sports made easy. With over 10 million active members, get in on the daily action with your friends and become part of the PrizePicks community today. PrizePicks is the best way to win real money while watching your favorite sports or even sporting events. I have an insane PrizePicks lineup for you today. Which players are going to be going off, which ones aren't. Make your picks in less than 60 seconds and turn your sports opinions into real money all season long over at PrizePicks. Yeah, I know there's basketball, baseball's coming up, but also we're talking the Combine today. Isaiah Bond said he's going to run a 4.1. They have his projection at 4.29. You going more or you going less on the Texas wide receiver? Also, Jayden Blue said he's breaking the record for the 40 time today. They have him at 4.36. So if that's true, you got to go the less on that. We're talking about Emeka Egbuka today, obviously. They have him at 4.45. And then Arian Smith, another speedster out of Georgia. They have him at 4.29 as well. Go more, go less. Use my picks or go against them. Just do it over at PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That is code CLNS on PrizePicks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. So get started today with our friends over at PrizePicks. So the big question is, if he's there at 25, are the Texans going to be drafting Emeka Egbuka? And after everything that I've been hearing from our guys at the Combine, after hearing straight from the man himself, Mr. Egbuka, I do think it is a high likelihood that the Texans select the Ohio State wide receiver if he's sitting there at 25. I mean, his career at Ohio State, one of the best receivers that they've had run through the program. And as you heard in that clip, he was in a wide receiver room with a Marvin Harrison Jr., a Garrett Wilson, a Chris Olave, Jeremiah Smith, who's still there with the program, among others. So he's seen some great talent, and he's worked with C.J. Stroud. Look at those 2022 numbers, over 1,100 yards, 10 touchdowns on the year. He was amazing, and that was only in 13 games, not 16 games like he played with the Buckeyes this year. Is it a reunion in H-Town for Stroud and his best friend, Emeka Egbuka? I think so. If he falls there, the only thing that could kind of muddy up the waters here is, one, if a team before the Texans take Emeka Egbuka. I don't think the Texans have a ton of draft capital to move up, so I don't really see them going up in the first round unless they really feel that strongly about Egbuka or another prospect. I just don't see it happening. But if there's a premier offensive line prospect there, like Mel Kiper, he mocked Kelvin Banks to the Houston Texans just the other day. Mimbu out of Mizzou, or maybe Zabel out of North Dakota State. If there's a guy that the Texans absolutely love at the offensive line spot, it's going to be a hard decision if they're there and Emeka Egbuka, because you give C.J. Stroud another weapon to go with Nico Collins. I mean, obviously, the wide receiver room is depleted from this past year, or do you address the biggest need on your team, which is offensive line? It's going to be a tough decision for Nick Caserio, DeMeco Ryans come draft day, and it's going to be even tougher if Emeka Egbuka is sitting there at 25 for the Houston Texans. You go down in the comment section and give me your thoughts. How likely do you think the Texans are to draft Egbuka at pick 25? Do you think it's maybe 75% chance? 50% chance, 25% chance? Give me your thoughts down below. What is the odds that the Texans pick Egbuka at pick 25? Go down in the comment section. I'm going to be looking and want to see how you're feeling about the connection between the Ohio State receiver and the Houston Texans. Before I get out of here, I did want to just kind of run through some notable names that I just scrolled across on Twitter, and also my guys at the Combine were telling me, going through the different player interviews, some guys who have met with the Texans and guys who haven't met with the Texans just yet. Nick Nash from San Jose State, Jayden Higgins from Iowa State, Elic Ayomanor, Jack Bech from TCU, and Jaylen Noel from Iowa State. All these guys have reportedly met formally with the Houston Texans at the NFL Combine. These next guys, which is interesting, have not met with the Houston Texans yet. And that doesn't mean they're not going to meet with them at all because, the Combine is quick. They're meeting with tons of teams. Guys are meeting with, 10, 15 teams at the Combine. These guys just haven't yet met up with the Houston Texans yet. Tre Harris from Ole Miss, Matthew Golden from Texas, and Luther Burden III, which, weirdly enough, I don't know if he's met with the Texans yet, but he declined to answer, which gives me weird vibes. I mean, what do you have to hide? Well, why are you declining to answer if you've met with teams? But that's making me think that maybe he didn't meet with the Texans just yet. Before I let you go, make sure you hit that sub button. We are still on the road to 30,000 subscribers by the NFL draft. We are 2,797 away. Help me out. Help me get there. Let's get to 30K subs, and let's make this the best Texans channel on YouTube.